JJ, I guess almost just emblematic of the you played through the 48 minutes. What did you see from your guys? I guess not just tonight, but to get to 5-1 and to be able to get home in this fashion.
Yeah, really good. They're it's like them, Charlotte, Miami, Chicago. Like these teams, they're relentless with their pace in the half court. I thought our guys, for what we had talked about this morning and pregame, really did a lot of great things. The starting group really set the tone. Jake defensively to start that game, getting deflections and steals. LeBron out and running, Jaxson out and running. Luka and AR just being relentless with their paint touches to get, we ended up with 70. We had 40 points in the paint in the first half. So a lot, just great carryover for our team. And we talked about it at halftime. We talked about it last time we played these guys. You could have a big lead on them, and they're just going to keep playing that same style of basketball, and they're going to make you guard every single possession, and they're going to. It's fast paced, and I thought the Bronny's jumper was big to kind of settle us, and then we went to the Horns 3 and with Luka, Austin, and Brown, and Austin gets the floater. Those were two big buckets there in the fourth.
JJ, you mentioned Jaxson. I think his first double-double of the year in season highs in both points and rebounds. Just what did you see from him in terms of, and he always brings that energy, but on a night like this when everyone's a little bit tired, let's say, just how important was that energy from him?
It was great. I thought, again, it starts with running the floor for him. In particular, to start that third quarter, just created a bunch of scoring opportunities for us. These guys, they know how dynamic he is as a roller, and they're looking for him. And I thought he did a great job of getting to the spots with pace, and then at times playing through some contact as well. Just like a number of guys on our team, he ends up with 2 steals and 2 blocks. We had 15 steals as a team. I thought our activity was great, and I really, Jake ended up with 4, but he led that. He had a number of deflections as well.
JJ, did you notice that in the fourth quarter that LeBron and Bronny went into the game together? Did that register for you at all?
Oh yeah,
just that they were at the table together, and
we make the substitution matrix.
Okay, the when that first time that happened forever ago, there was so much attention to it and stuff, and kind of in the darkness, Bronny's just been kind of getting better. How much better is he today than when he started? And what does that say? I think I'm trying to remember what you called him, but like sort of like something about development, like that he's sort of like, the test case. He was going to be the test case for how you
Patient
guys
zero or something.
Something like that, yeah. To be able to rely on him tonight when you needed him.
He's gotten significantly better. I know our staff has a lot of confidence in him. Felt like this was a game we really needed him. It was a game that his athleticism, his defense. He had 2 really, really good defensive possessions, individual defense in the first half. I think the biggest thing with him is he's got a lot of confidence right now, and I know he didn't make his 3 tonight, but he's got a lot of confidence in his shot right now. He's having a fantastic season with South Bay. He's been arguably the best player for like the last 3 or 4 weeks in our Stay Ready games, every single time. He's got a bounce to his step right now, and I think that just comes from developing that confidence. And Zach has done such a good job with all our guys. Every time they've been down there, they've gone down there with a specific purpose and plan. That myself and Coach Ty and Zach have coordinated, and they've all allowed themselves to be coached by Zach. And Bronny's, we saw it last year, and we're seeing it again this year. Just his growth as a player. And
you guys are now 7-1 since you guys kind of talked to LeBron about roles and different things like that. I guess it's been a couple weeks. What have you just made of his sort of like embracing of what you've asked him to do?
Yeah, I used the word patience the other night, and I think that's the biggest thing, is just having patience with the flow of the game, having patience with me, having patience with his shots. But he's we saw the other night when he was 0 for 4, 0 for 5 in the first half. He still had 5 or 6 assists. He ends up with 9 assists tonight. He gets out in transition. We gave him just a clear sort of, and a lot of it was collaborative. A lot of it was the conversation that him and I had a couple weeks ago about what his role could look like that would impact winning at a really high level, and we gave him 4 things, and he's executed all 4 of those things really well.
Kind of looking forward, you mentioned after the Detroit game just how important health is for you guys. I looked it up, I'm forgetting that right now, but the record when you have your 9-man rotation. How will you, try to balance that down this final 8 games versus, trying to continue the continuity and keeping guys, in the lineup together in chemistry and whatnot?
Yeah, we're gonna go for it. So we're gonna try to win games, and we're gonna be smart about it. It's Dave and I always joke with Dave every time he asks me about that, but I don't know. I didn't know Adu was going to be out after the Detroit game. I didn't know DA was going to be out until he texted me this morning.